generational trauma. But I see nothing in his family that could make him so. And going to a Catholic school, how much generational trauma can come from a Catholic school?
Yeah.
Little did I know till 2000. I left him in 98. In 2000 I heard about all the sexual abuse, all the verbal abuse, all the abuses my former husband had gone through. Who do I forgive? Who do I forgive for this trauma that I went through? Do I forgive him? Who does he forgive? And it was just like a thorny path trail. Everywhere you walked, there was pain. So what we have to go through in our generational trauma, just to be here, to live, has not been easy. Still, our grandparents taught us there is no such word in our language for hatred, anger, arrogance, or resentment. None. No definition for hatred, anger, arrogance, or resentment. So that's how we were raised by our grandparents for time immemorial, especially since 1492, being trespassed on. That's how we were raised, not to have those emotions, because what can we do to change them? If we can't do nothing to change those emotions, once we've had them, and then we are going to be a lost culture. And if we could teach everybody, that's why I say Croatians are like us.
And through way too much.
The one on the right is my granddaughter.
Beautiful. I like her belt.
Yeah.
And her shawl.
Yeah, she made the shawl. She had generational trauma herself. She had a alcoholic mom and a dad that didn't come back to her because of a bad relationship. And so she was put in a home where she wasn't fully 101% accepted. She wasn't even. I have to go over 100% because she wasn't 101% accepted. She was probably at least 45% accepted because she needed to have guidance, she needed to have a roof over her head. That's the 45%. She was loved, but the home she was in had a natural child. So the natural child always came first. So now she is a liaison for the schools and the tribe. She's 30, she was born in 91. So she's going to be 33 in December. When she was a little girl, I went, Grandma, Ray Ray. Grandma, Ray Ray. She was about 8 months old. Grandma, Ray Ray. One day I sat down and she goes, Way, way, Wawa. Way, way, Wawa. So today I'm still Wawa.
I love it. That's a good name.
And another time I went in the room when I was teaching her, and she just wanted some Barney time. She didn't want Wawa there. She just wanted her Barney time.
Oh.
So she had Barney leaning against the couch like that. And she goes, what? And she goes, no, I don't think so. And she says, don't talk about it. So I look and I kind of just glance in there as the kitchen's right here and the living room's back here, so I peek around a little bit every now and then, and then pretty soon she said, ah, bullshit, Barney. She's only 2.5 years old. Ah, bullshit, Barney. Then I realized, kids learn what they live.
Oh, yes, indeed.
So I used to say that to, because remember I was telling you I had that trauma with her grandpa. I realized I say that a lot. Oh, bullshit, girl. Then my language took a turn.
Yeah, you had to clean it up.
Yep. So this is her again. It's like no amount of money can change her way of life. But she always has to look like a queen. No matter if she's holding a slimy fish or not. The one on the right is David Blackington. He's my cousin. Him and his brother were raised in Seattle. And they owned the pillar house down there by, where, let's see, down here, that pillar house on the other side of Jan's driveway.
Oh, yeah. Jan's driveway. Yeah. Jan Iverson. Oh.
And the pillar house is on the left side.
Yeah.
No, he was raised there. He was raised in Seattle, but he was raised around that house too. And I know that in his heart he wanted to tell me something, but he said, well, see how his hand protects my shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
He died shortly after that.
Oh.
And I know he wanted to tell me. His brother now was best friends with Ichiro and Martinez, Edgar Martinez, Rick Riss. They had a...
Well, how was he related to Bobby Morris?
That's his cousin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeff Morris?
Well, that's his mother's Bobby, yeah.
Oh!
Because she was a black
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
Bobby was a black
That's his cousin.
Yeah, okay.
And there's another Bobby Morris Blackington. That's Jeff's sister.
Oh, so she named after her mom.
Yeah.
She was named after her mom, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the stories about that is that Bobby came home from school or something and her grandfather was burning all their baskets.
Mm.
Do you know that story?
I don't know.
I mean, she tried to save them. I mean, she went and tried to like, what are you doing, Grandpa? Yeah. I mean, that was just a story I heard.
Was it because of his age?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if it was because, I have no idea.
So that's a lot of the generational trauma.
Yeah, or something had changed for him, and I mean, it was obviously traumatic. I mean, he wouldn't have done it if there hadn't been some sort of reason in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, she's trying to save them. She saved some of them, I guess. I think I heard that from Ben's mom.
We're all just trying our best, aren't we?
Yeah.
Usually trying our best.
You know, the one thing that we can do, and it seems impossible, is to set that vision aside and look at what's left and realize we're fortunate. You know, those baskets could be that the owners wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
The ones who created them, the ones who made them.
It could be, yeah.
So in our culture, when somebody wants something, there's a message. Like food, you know, we burn food in our ancestors. They feed off the essence. Yeah.
That reminds me of the ceremony, and we left shortly as that was occurring, on the 9th farewell to Toki,
Mm-hmm.
where we fed the salmon into the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting concept,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me think. I don't know that I have the right reaction. I just felt it was a sacred thing.
Whatever eats that offering is feeding the spirits of all of the ocean. Because we showed our gratitude, and our gratitude went into the ocean.
Thank you.
The ocean's pretty big from our estimate,
Mm-hmm.
but somehow the orcas here knew when Toki was gone. You could tell. They could tell.
They did. Toki came home that day. She died. She came actually through the vision we got was she came across the nation. She didn't go across in the water.
No waterway. Yeah.
Because there was no earth here back when our ancestors were. 4,000 years ago, there were no islands here. If you research that, you'll find that out. But she came across in the air. Her spirit did.
That's kind of how she got to Florida too.
Yep.
It's the same pathway but reversed.
Yep.
And now she's back.
Now she's free and she can travel travel. I am so tired. I want to go home. I'm halfway home. I feel much better. I am home. I shall dance. And that's what she did with her family when she came home. That's why they all gathered at Lime Kiln.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, remember I was telling you how he looks at me?
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still that way today, even in our older age. If I'm gone for more than a day, then he has this big emptiness. He has, like all of our people, like all of our mates, our husbands. My great-grandsons, the one on the right is the one I was hugging. One on the left, he's half black. He's a pretty funny kid. He's sitting on, he was getting in trouble over that bag of chips because there was a picnic. And he went and took the whole chip, the whole bag. So his little brother, they're actually first cousins, his brother went up to comfort him and tell him it's okay, but we have to share. And he was an only child, so he never had to share with nobody till he was 2 years old.
What a sweet way for him to tell.
Such a cute kid. So the one on the left is at Orcas Island, Camper Kyla. We were honored with a little ceremony for a cabin they named Samish. The one on the right is, you see Margie there on the left. That ceremony,
Doing this.
yeah, that ceremony was giving gratitude to the ancestors for allowing us to gather in that sacred soil, for bringing the ones who wanted to be there encouraging people to come. Oh my gosh, I'll always remember this one. I don't know how he knew who the Seahawks were at 1 year old. He got that Seahawks ball and he acted like this football and he acted like this is what I've wanted, always wanted all of my life. And he's only a year old. He looked at it after that, he put it out and he screamed and he hugged it. And out of all those gifts, that Seahawks ball made him do that.
Yeah. That's so.
And on the right side are my brothers. And I tease my brother on the left side there, the shorter one. I told him, how come they never put the fat one in the middle? And he just gives me that shy smile.
Yeah.
Never a bad feeling in our entire lives towards each other.
Oh, what a blessing.
Yeah, we're that way today. This is at Lone Tree Point at LaConner, Swinomish. And you've seen this, can you,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, can you enlarge that?
I can't. Oh, maybe she can.
I don't know. That's all right, you can't
I'll
zoom
try.
in.
But we can see what it is.
Oh, you can.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can see the
That's
orca.
crazy.
So the guy on the left is from Tulalip, and the guy on the right is from Vancouver Island. And they stopped to greet one another out in that dark ocean, and the orca came up between them. And he knew where to come. He knew that those were both the leaders of the canoe. You can't stage this.
No, you
That
can't
is
not.
incredible.
You can't Photoshop it either.
Just amazing.
Wow. What? That was a moment.
It was. And again, everything has social and emotional skills. That's one thing that I always wish that I studied what is his name? He's a Buddha. How am I missing this?
The Dalai Lama.
Yeah, I studied him
Uh-huh.
a lot. And our culture is so close. The next closer
I can
ones,
imagine.
Croatian and then the indigenous Russians.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know about the indigenous Russians. They're brown like us.
Mm-hmm.
And the indigenous Russians will not be called Russian.
I believe that.
Yeah, and I will not be called Native American. Coast Salish, because Native America was named by
Mm-hmm. America. Yeah.
Amerigo
Yeah.
Vespucci,
Yeah.
and I have nothing against that. It's just that that's not
You don't
It's not
identify
my
with
title.
that. You
Yeah.
don't identify with that.
Coast Salish is about the biggest part of acceptance that I get, rather than I could say, and I am Native American, but that could mean Seminole, that could mean Mohawk, it could mean Navajo. So when you say Coast Salish, it narrows it down to who your peoples are.
But it still encompasses Samish, Lummi, etc.
That's good. Now I know how to do that. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Randy just got home a little bit ago.
So this, you'll see a lot of blonde-haired people in there, and those are still my family. No matter how
How did I not go to this thing?
relation to it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to see this when we couldn't attend. I was with my husband doing Fred Hutch treatments.
I love the hats.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. That's a great picture.
The dress over there on the left, on the bottom, you'll see the Navajo Plains ribbon skirt design. That, although we don't come from that, we come from the cedar dress or the woolly dog dress. And the one over on the far right hat is made of a more modern style. And if you've ever heard of Jackie Bone,
Yeah.
that's her great-grandson.
Oh, okay.
He's wearing a folded blanket
Yeah.
across, which when you gave blankets over there at that 9th welcome, that you put that on people that way. I observed that.
Mhm. So this is where we led them onto the floor. They're like rebirthed spirits when they get their names, when they get their indigenous names. The only one that kept calling my grandfather by his Indian name was my great-grandma. But he didn't want to receive it like this. He just said, "You already know who I am. I am not going to be named that in public." Because of the generational trauma he went through. And Birch and David were witnesses here. And then a black man, a French man, and a child. Reason being, the black man can bring it back to Africa, the French man can bring it back to France, the child can be raised with always knowing what this was. And then Birch and David were personally invited to attend by the ancestors. And I didn't even know they had dogwoods back then.
Wow.
When this was taken, when we did this, I didn't even know they had dogwoods. I just wondered why, Birch and David, why? And it was not my place to question after that, because when I was going through, it's a process going through who are going to be your witnesses. And one of them was, actually two were children. One was Mark Linneman's son.
Oh.
And the other was Becca and Rory's daughter, Fiona. And that was really, on the paternal side of my great-grandchildren, my great-grandchildren's great-great-great-grandma was half Chinese, and Fiona's half Chinese.
Oh.
So how those witnesses came together like that was something that I could finally think about after. I couldn't think about it before. I could only choose who the ancestors wanted me to.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think about it after, and I go, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, my grandkids are half black. My great-grandkids, my great-grandchildren, my great-great-grandchildren's great grandma was half Chinese. That's how I chose Fiona. I didn't know then
Yeah.
about all these connections.
Amazing.
These two ladies are my cousins. Go ahead. Can I hear
No,
what you were
I
going to
was
say?
just saying that few people in the world can go forward with intention, not knowing the whole story, just trusting,
Mm-hmm.
and only finding out afterwards
Yeah,
how beautiful
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, even today, there are people like that were there wondered how I chose the
Sorry?
Were you at this?
No, I was not.
the witnesses, and I told them it's not for me to, it wasn't for me to do. It was the ancestors, who they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So the two on the right, they were witnesses to David and Birch's journey. You know, what David and Birch wanted to see and how they wanted to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of like their honoring that gave David and Birch the go-ahead. And they don't look native either. But in our culture, the spirit sees no color. And if we all could be like that.
Mm-hmm.
The blankets on the floor, as I was telling you, was like a rebirth of the spirit. What time is it?
I was just looking, just trying to find, it's just 12.
Mm.
It's been,
Been a couple hours.
I think this was a lot to do.
Can I call Bill?
Would you stop the recording?
Do that. I think I'll just close it.
Can you microwave this for me?
Can I just close
Sure.
this? And that'll stop it, right?
Yes.